In 1977, humanity launched a machine into the dark, not to orbit Earth, not to land on the moon, but to leave, to go farther than any human-made object had ever gone before, past the planets, past the heat of the sun, past the familiar map of everything we have ever called home. That machine was Voyager, and nearly half a century later, it is still going, still moving outward, still drifting deeper into the unknown, far beyond the worlds we grew up learning about, far beyond the last major planet, far beyond the bright center of the solar system. Out there, sunlight grows weak, warmth begins to fade, and the emptiness becomes almost impossible to imagine. But the strangest part was not the distance. It was what Voyager found. At the edge of our solar system, it began to detect a boundary, a border in space itself, a place where the influence of the sun starts to die and the true darkness between the stars begins. And what waited there was not silence, not emptiness, but something far stranger, far more physical, far more unsettling than anyone expected. Because Voyager did not just reach the edge of the solar system, it reached the edge of our cosmic shelter. Most people imagine the solar system as the sun and the planets around it, but that is only the part we can easily picture. The sun is constantly blasting outward a stream of charged particles called the solar wind. That wind races through space in every direction, creating a vast invisible bubble around our entire planetary system. That bubble is called the Heliosphere. It is enormous, far larger than the orbit of Pluto, and for billions of kilometers, it acts like a shield, pushing back against radiation and high-energy particles coming from interstellar space. In a way, everything we know has been living inside it. Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, every ocean, every city, every person who has ever lived. All of it inside this giant, invisible bubble formed by the outward breath of our star. That is a strange thought, because it means our solar system is not just drifting freely through the galaxy. It is wrapped, protected, separated, but no shield lasts forever. The farther Voyager traveled, the weaker the solar wind became, until eventually it approached the outer boundary of the heliosphere, a place where the sun's power begins to lose its grip, a place where our neighborhood stops being dominant. And beyond that boundary lies interstellar space, the space between stars, cold, thin, alien. That idea alone is unsettling, because it means home is not open space. Home is a bubble, and beyond it waits a darker ocean we were never meant to see this closely. When Voyager 1 approached that boundary, scientists knew it would matter, but what it found was far more disturbing than a simple milestone. In 2012, Voyager 1 became the first human-made object to enter interstellar space. For the first time in history, something built by human hands left the sun's protective bubble and crossed into the space between the stars. Think about that. Humanity had never touched that region before, never measured it directly, never crossed into it, never known, for certain, what it would feel like. And when Voyager crossed the boundary, it revealed something eerie. The region outside was not empty in the way many imagined. It was different, denser, stranger, more structured. The environment had changed, and the transition was not vague or poetic. It was real, a genuine frontier, a place where one environment ends and another begins. That changes the way you think about home. The solar system is not just a collection of planets. It is a protected zone, a cocoon, a fragile region inside something colder and far less familiar. And Voyager was the first thing ever sent by humanity to tear through that skin. That may be one of the mission's most unsettling discoveries, because it revealed that home is not endless, it has an edge. Then came one of the strangest moments in the entire mission. Voyager did not hear sound the way human ears do. Space is far too empty for that, but it did detect plasma waves moving through the thin gas around it, and those waves could be translated into sound. What scientists found was chilling. Inside the heliosphere, the plasma around Voyager produced lower tones, but outside, in interstellar space, the pitch suddenly rose. The region beyond the solar system was denser than expected. That means Voyager did something extraordinary. It let us detect the texture of the darkness, not with our eyes, not with our hands, but through the hidden vibrations of space itself. Imagine that. A machine launched in the 1970s, older than the modern internet, older than most of the digital world, drifting farther than any other spacecraft, listening to the border between our solar system and the rest of the galaxy. And the darkness was not empty. It had structure, it had pressure, it had a presence. That changes everything about how deep space feels. Because the void beyond our sun is not just black emptiness. It is a place, a physical environment, a real medium, a cold ocean waiting beyond the edge of home. And somehow, Voyager was still moving through it. Then Voyager 2 arrived, and this is where the story became even stranger. Unlike Voyager 1, Voyager 2 still had a working plasma instrument when it crossed the Heliopause in 2018. That meant scientists could finally make direct plasma measurements of the nearby interstellar medium. And what Voyager 2 found confirmed something unsettling. The plasma outside the heliosphere was significantly denser than the plasma inside. But that was not all. It also detected signs that plasma near the inside edge was being compressed, as if the boundary of our solar system was under pressure, as if this invisible border were being squeezed by forces on both sides. And even now, scientists still do not fully understand everything happening there. That is an extraordinary thought. The edge of our solar system is not a quiet line in a textbook. It is active, dynamic, pressurized, unstable in ways we are still trying to understand. It shifts, it responds, it interacts with the galaxy beyond it. So Voyager did not just show us that there is an edge, it showed us that the edge is alive with forces, invisible pressure, charged particles, radiation, interstellar plasma. The frontier between our star and the rest of the Milky Way is not calm. It is a tension zone. A place where the outward breath of the sun meets the ancient material between the stars. And in the middle of that boundary, two tiny spacecraft kept going, still moving forward, still carrying messages from Earth, still entering the unknown alone. But maybe the most shocking thing Voyager discovered was not scientific at all. Maybe it was emotional, because the farther Voyager traveled, the more clearly it showed us how small home really is. In 1990, before continuing deeper into the dark, Voyager 1 turned its camera back and took one final image of Earth. Our planet appeared as a tiny pale dot suspended in a sunbeam, a dust-sized world nearly swallowed by light. And on that dot was everything. Every war, every love story, every city, every family, every dream, every human life, everything we have ever known existing on something that small. That image changed the way people saw humanity, and now Voyager is far beyond even that. Still moving, still drifting deeper into interstellar space, farther away than any other human-made object has ever gone. That may be the most haunting part of the entire mission. We sent a machine to the edge of the solar system. It found that home is a bubble, that the darkness beyond it has structure, that the border is real, that interstellar space is denser, stranger, and more physical than we ever imagined. And then it kept going, out into a region where no human being will follow for a very, very long time. Still carrying the golden record, a message from Earth, a small golden archive filled with sounds, images, and greetings from a tiny world that now looks smaller than dust. A lonely machine moving through the dark, carrying proof that we were here. And maybe that is the most shocking discovery of all. Not just what Voyager found at the edge of the solar system, but what it revealed about us. How small we are, how fragile home is, and how vast the darkness becomes once you finally leave it. Voyager reached the edge of our solar system and discovered that home was never as large or as safe as we imagined.